I've just named are all in jail. You're not aware that Joshua Wong's in jail. You're not aware that Nathan Hale is so many individuals have been locked up as a result of the national security law imposed from Beijing, and you tell me that Hong Kong is still a political entity where people can express their views, whether they be in opposition, dissenting to the ruling party or not. It's plainly not true.
No, that's you're not right. Well, look, national security law is not something that's exceptional in Hong Kong. In the U.S., they have 20 pieces of legislation that are national security related. So for these people, they were locked up because they have broken the law. Some of them didn't break the national security law.
But with respect, I think you're missing my point. That the national security law was imposed from Beijing. You are supposed to have political autonomy. Comes back to our conversation about one country, two systems. But your national security law was imposed from Beijing.
Well, we call it national security law for a reason, because it has to do with national security. In fact, the national security law is a piece of national legislation, which is supposed to be legislated by the NPCSC. And that is the only reason why that is being done that way. And this is not a Hong Kong piece of law, but it has to protect our we have to protect our national security. Hong Kong, as a part of China, has the responsibility of doing it. Just like in any other country, they also have the national security law. And I was asking you the question, why is it okay for the U.S. to have their national security law, but it's not okay for Hong Kong and China to have our own national security law? Why is that? I find it very hypocritical, especially if you consider the national security, the highest penalty was actually death penalty in the U.S., when the highest penalty in Hong Kong is only life imprisonment. If you take a look at how Hong Kong was in 2019, when the rioters came out on the street, vandalizing, they were burning people, they were throwing stones at people, killing people, then we need a strong enforcement agency to keep our society stable. If you take a look at the situation in the U.S., well, you will see the police being a lot more stringent, especially in the management of the Capitol Hill riots. There were protesters that were unarmed, that were shot by police inside Capitol Hill. And in Hong Kong, throughout 2019, 2020, and last year, there were no such things that happened. Nobody was killed as a result of these protests, and not as a result of these police.
The vice president of the Professional Teachers Union says they are turning education into a tool for controlling thought in Hong Kong.
You know, Stephen, I have watched a few of your interviews, and you like to use citations from these people, right? And are we playing a citing game now? Because I can cite, just because those citations are basically their opinions. I can cite
those quotations.
For example,
those quotations are what?
Okay,
sorry.
Okay. Former Secretary of Justice, Hong Kong, L.C. Lee, has said that the electoral reform is in line with one country, two system, and will bring Hong Kong towards a brighter future. Priscilla Leung, a legal member, also professor at City University of Hong Kong School of Law, well-respected scholar, has said the enhanced electoral system will result in a higher quality governance.
But that's beautiful.
So, I mean, like,
this is exactly what an intelligent debate is like. But the problem that I'm pointing out to you in Hong Kong is that the people with the views I'm expressing end up in jail.
They are in jail because they broke the law. And to be completely honest, as a Hong Kong person, well, not only have I lived in Hong Kong, I've lived in America before for college. I've been educated in Hong Kong as well. I see no difference in the level of freedom and personal liberty that I'm enjoying. First of all, I never intend to break any law, so I'm not worried about breaking any law, national security law, and any other laws. If you are a law-abiding citizen, if you are doing business, if you're doing your work, people have freedom to do all sorts of things here in Hong Kong. I urge all the people who are watching this program to just come to Hong Kong, come to China, and see it for yourself. You know, there are expatriates who are living in Hong Kong, and they're so happy because of all the freedom they enjoy in Hong Kong.